Hi, this is Dave Priga at Sun Martial Arts with kind of an important thing that we want to talk to everybody about. A lot of parents come to us, always have, telling us that they feel like their child doesn't know how to deal with the bully or they're being picked on, things like this. So it's a really legitimate concern. Um, if it's not addressed, we know that those type of situations can escalate. In other words, first it's name calling, then it's pushing or shoving, then it escalates. It'll get worse and worse. So it does have to be dealt with. So it's a very serious issue. And what we need to do is get the kids to understand how to deal with this, how to not necessarily fight or not necessarily have the right words, but have an understanding of what is going on with these other kids that are bullying them, and give them some strategies and give them some techniques so they know how to deal with it mentally and ultimately physically, so they have the confidence themselves to deal with it. So here's what most people do. Their kids will come home and say, so and so is picking on me on the bus, and when I say it here, it always sounds kind of trivial, but it's not trivial at all, especially to the kids. And a lot of times, the parents are very, very concerned. They haven't gotten very far with the school, or they haven't been able to get very far with maybe even contacting the other kids' parents or things like that. And, the old school way we used to be like, well, the kids will have to work it out by themselves. And unfortunately, that's just not the world we live in anymore. And there's just so much more going on, and there's so much pressure on these kids with just the way it is now. So we want to give them some better strategies and techniques for dealing with that. So just telling them to work it out on their own, or even reaching out to the school and the maybe the other kids' parents or the bus driver or anything, it's not enough anymore. It ends up being more frustrating for the parents, and extremely more frustrating for the kid, who is desperately wanting some help, but they're not getting it. They're not getting what they need. So it's a very big concern that we want to talk about a little bit and try to figure out how to deal with. Probably the first step that we try to accomplish with kids, or that we would encourage you to try to accomplish with your kid, is to get them to understand that it's something that they will have to learn how to deal with. Pretending it isn't happening, or ignoring it, or anything like that, they're going to have to learn how to deal with it. So that's important. Putting it off, anything like that. No, we got to deal with this. We got to learn how to deal with it. The next thing would be start giving the kids some strategies of how to deal with it. And it may be something as simple as, when you see this kid coming, just, go the other way, avoid them, walk away, go by your friends. We've heard things like, we tell them, go by your friends. And the kids say, well, I don't have any friends. Well, now you're getting to you're getting a bigger picture here. Well, why don't you have any friends? And things like that. But giving strategies like, getting away from moving away from them, avoiding that. And if that's not possible, understanding how to handle it. Now, a real good example is, I think of, we have a great big man here that trains in our adult classes. He's a retired Marine Corps drill sergeant. And I mean, this guy would be the perfect example of, you dream up a Marine Corps drill sergeant. He's huge. He's just, anyhow, he told us that when he was younger, that he was bullied a lot and picked on because the kids, kept telling him he had a big nose. And somehow, either from his father or his parents, or he figured out on his own that he could disarm the bullies, disarm that by when they started telling him he had a big nose and picking on him, that he would just laugh right along and say, "Oh, yeah, I do have a big nose. It's really big. That's funny, isn't it?" And go along with that. And that worked for him. Now, things like that might not work for everybody, but that's an example of there are so many strategies that can be used. But ultimately, it's kind of going to come down to giving the child the knowledge and the strategies, so they have the confidence to deal with it. So they know that, okay, when this comes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and it's not always that simple, but it can be. And just knowing that you're equipped to deal with the situation gives you the confidence, or gives them the confidence to deal with it. And because they're more confident, they exude that confidence and become suddenly less of a target for bullies, less of a target for somebody looking for a victim. And it works out that way. So that's what we do, and that's what we encourage you to do. It's not a one-step process. It does take time, but these are things that we are constantly working on with our students here. So if you want to explore how maybe we can help your child work through this and give them the confidence and the knowledge how to deal with those type of situations, because if you learn how to deal with it at a young age, it just makes you that much, gives you that much more ability to deal with it as you grow older, into high school and through college and getting out in the workforce. There's always going to be people that are trying to bully and intimidate and push you around, and understanding how to deal with that is very, very important. It's a great skill set, and it's a great tool, and just happens to be one of the things that we specialize here. So if there's something I can help you out with, give us a call, or click on the link here of my blog website, and I'd be happy to speak with you about it and maybe help you out that way. Have a great day.